All right, Oval fans, here's the review for Season 4, Episode 7, Hook, Line, and Sinker. 7 out of 10, thought it was okay. Kind of weird in some places, like slow and unnecessarily, repetitive, but what can you say about the Oval? Still a great season overall, but this episode kind of mid-tier. Not horrible, but I thought it was pretty decent. Now, Bobby is still in, I guess you could say, secret agent mode. Gun to Donald's head. He's ready to get Lily and go. I mean, I'm actually impressed that he alone was able to make it through all the guards, undetected into the house. And now he has the chief of staff at gunpoint. But Lily isn't coming with him. Now, as an audience, we know the reason that she is not going with Bobby is due to the fact that Donald has leverage of her entire family's lives, depending on her playing the role of the dutiful chief of staff wife. So she ain't going nowhere. Bobby is up here begging. He can't believe it. Donald, in classic Donald fashion, is taunting him. It's like, you too big to beg now. What are you doing now? And it's like, Lily, come on. If I walk out that door, I ain't coming back. So he literally leaves. And the thing about it is, this just shows how crappy the security is. Bobby literally was barely 2 seconds out the door. A couple of guards come up. Donald chews their asses out. And it's like, you didn't see Bobby? No, sir. And I'm like, they ain't no, well, okay. They walked on the set, but it's like the time between Bobby opening and shutting the door to when the guard showed up made no sense. It's like, you didn't see a huge black guy walking out of the door. You didn't see that? Okay. So yeah, what did Donald say? You know what? Call your replacements and then get them to shoot you. I'm done with y'all. Get out of here. So they're dismissed. And then from there, Lily is just breaking down on the floor crying. And Alonso actually calls Donald before he can, taunt her some more. And pretty much to let him know, hey, motorcade's coming. The first lady wants to come see you. Oh, you're coming, Alonso? Yes, because we need to talk. We know this has to do with Hunter leaving the White House the night before. Okay, now back over at the cabin, Jason is blaming his father for everything in regards to Jean, Denise. Oh, he's a monster. He does drugs. He likes to use his sword when he's having sex with women and that kind of thing. So he's basically pinning the murders that he committed on his father. Pretty much what it boils down to. And for some reason, he wants to go home. But then Sam explains, like, look, the reason you're here is because, number one, this is the safest place for you. And then number two, there was a body double, a young boy, who looked like you, who was a cancer patient. He was dying. His organs were failing. We put him in your bed. So next thing you know, the only two people who were in your room were your parents. And at some point, the boy died. One of your parents tried to off you. Jason doesn't want to believe it. And he doesn't want to talk anymore because, when they start to question him even further about what's been going on, Jason decides, look, I'm done talking. I'm tired. So from there, David, the guard, Sam and Richard go into like the kitchen area of the cabin to kind of go over the events of what's happening. And, David's like, so do you buy it? And then Richard and Sam like, no, he's lying. But because, obviously they saw the video footage of Jason, and what he did. So from there, we have David who actually believes the VP. But keep in mind, Sam and Richard don't, counter him because remember that the VP fed them BS, but not everybody who's suspicious of the VP is telling everybody else. So that was a smart move because they didn't really say, well, no, I think we're doing this. It's like, no, okay, David's on our team. He's helping us out now. There's no need to kind of question, basically have us at each other's throats. So, from there, he does say, so how long do you want to keep him here? It's like, yeah, we can't keep Jason here forever. And it's like, yeah, he's getting stronger every day. So what, are you afraid he's going to take you out? Man, screw you, Sam. So I thought that was like a little fun banter back and forth. He also tells him about the adrenaline shot. Hey, don't use more than half of the syringe because it's like, addicting as crack. And he's like, hey, you need some too? But just like, oh, no, I'm good with just coffee. So, they leave. So it makes you wonder, we know that at some point Jason's going to be on the run. Do you think he's going to get the one up on David? Well, I don't know. So we go over to the White House. Victoria's about to leave to go to the motorcade. She checks in with Alonso and has Kyle call down. And she smells, this is the one thing about these people, very invasive of personal space. Victoria smells or what did she say? Your hair smells like Hunter's hair. what's going on here? Oh, he would need to borrow my cap. Borrow your cap. Yeah, because of the sun. Yeah, I don't buy that crap. Come with us. So basically, Alonso is brought to the motorcade, and Victoria wants Kyle to get in the same car with her, bump the regulations and rules, and makes him wear her purse. Okay, so from there, shows him her phone with parts of Hunter to see that triggers him, which Kyle denies, but of course Victoria knows otherwise. But long story short, there's some a file for him to read over, basically because she doesn't say like the connections to the VP and him being the one fixing this up. But basically it's like, look, here's the cover story. Max and Yuma were working with terrorists, and even Kyle's like, there's no way they will buy this crap. And Victoria's like, oh, but they did. So basically, you need to play nice with Bobby, since, he and Max are likely going to remain the detail of the vice president. So that's pretty much it. Now, going over to a diner, Bobby comes back. He's distraught over not getting Lily. And, Max tries to tell him, like, look, I tried to tell you, but you ain't want to listen to nobody. But Bobby knows that there's some leverage there. The fact that he's not going to give up on Lily because he knows there's a reason that Donald has a grip on her still. But because he could tell just by looking at her, it's like, look, you look scared to death. What did he do to you? Did he drug you? Did he mind, wipe you? What's going on here? So from there, they try to figure out a plan for the first family, how to bring him down, because they know the vice president fed them a bunch of bull crap. Now, Max initially has the idea, I know the president pretty well, being on his security detail for years, even before the White House. So I know he likes, black women, light-skinned women. He just loves to put himself in those scenarios. What we need to do is send in a girl undercover and to come up with a case so strong that, the administration can't break it. But it's going to be dangerous. At first, he suggests Blakely, but then it goes to Sharon because, once he's fixated on someone, he's not going to stop. So Sharon could be the key in order to bring down the administration, but it will be dangerous. That's going to be talked about in the promo for next week. Okay, now speaking of Sharon, her and Nancy are eating dinner, over at Richard and Nancy's house, and they're talking about, there's kind of a paranoia there. Sharon is afraid of the president just strolling on in there again, and Nancy is of course worried about Barry, and there's no calls, there's no sign of him. Richard comes in, and he's worried because there's still nothing about Barry on the radar. Not at all. Also, Sharon did mention something about getting a phone call from an unknown number, but she's not answering it. My guess is that was Max and Bobby. So Richard wants to go back out again to look for Barry, but Nancy makes him, sit down and eat a plate. And I love this. It's the fact that, look, Richard, you've been running ragged for the past couple of days. Take a rest, eat some food, relax. I'll call Sam because, remember, Richard asked Sam to trace Barry's phone. So Nancy gets on the phone with Sam. Turns out that he tried to track him, but Barry's phone is off. And Nancy mentions, wait, you don't think that Colt got to him again, did you? Oh, no, that's not it. I got a guy on the inside, the FBI, aka Andrew, assuming he's still alive at this point in Ruthless. He would have let him know or updated him if Barry was captured again. So that's pretty much it. And Priscilla actually comes in as Sam is getting off the phone. He pretty much explains when she asked about Nancy and the fact that Barry's, missing, but, we shouldn't be too worried about it for the time being. And then the conversation kind of shifts over to, their respective contacts, like their sources, and they really don't say much about anything because Priscilla's like, so where did you and Richard go? Oh, I'm just checking out on something. What about your sources? What do you mean? I'm just a chef at the White House. Oh, we still doing that, huh? Because remember, Sam doesn't know, Richard or Priscilla's true position as, I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. I forgot what their roles are. Are they like FBI or CIA or something like that? I honestly forgot. It's been so long since that plot point was even relevant that I can't remember. I remember they talked about it at the White House. I just can't remember what roles they are. I had to go through my playlist and check it out. But just let me know in the comments what are their positions. FBI, CIA, I don't know. I know they're undercover at the White House. But essentially, the conversation just goes over to Priscilla being bitter as all hell. Like, you're the one who got us into this mess by sleeping with my thing is this. Sam was wrong for what he did. And last week when I found out that it was only 3 weeks with no sex and he decided to cheat, that was really messed up. But Something tells me that Sam sleeping with the first lady isn't the catalyst for how they got involved in this mess. That's the thing about Priscilla. Again, justified in her anger, but it's inserted at the wrong times. I mean, you're having a conversation about whether or not the vice president fed you legit information, how you can go back to your daily lives like nothing ever happened. And, Sam believing in Priscilla's ability to go back to work and figure this out because she's capable. But yet again, well, this is all your fault, right? Because you slept with the first lady. Also, is she the first lady is she the only first lady you ever slept with? Oh, if there are any others, I'll find out. And then it's like Sam denies all the allegations that Priscilla's bringing up to him. And then she's like, you know what? No. I don't believe you. And whatever you did, it's going to come back to me. I'll figure it out. Here we go with Priscilla allowing emotion to cloud her judgment instead of trying to figure out who else Sam has been with. And he claims there has been no one else. She should be focusing on trying to bring down the first family. What happened to getting revenge for Jean or, Miss Alice, the maid, and all that stuff? I want to see Priscilla pursue that instead of just the needlessly, repetitive nonsense of, I hate you, Sam. If I were Sam, I would just leave. I would just leave. I mean, Priscilla even is like, oh yeah, well, you better hope I don't find anything else out. Basically insinuating that she'll make things worse for him or something if it turns out there's another woman. You literally said you're getting a divorce, so just do it. Like, I wouldn't even play. If I were Sam, I'd be like, look, Priscilla, fine. You know what? We'll talk with somebody in the morning to figure this out because there is enough on my plate right now. And you want to throw and I don't want to make it sound like Sam has a right to minimize what he did, which was cheat. But there are a lot bigger things going on right now than an affair. I know that's not going to sound good to a lot of people, but with the current administration killing off a lot of people who worked for the White House, and we could be next. Matter of fact, I've been shot. You want to talk about an affair? I don't know. I know I'm going to get flack for that, but that's how I feel. I feel like Tyler just randomly inserted this stuff for no reason. All right, so Victoria goes over to Donald's house, and you got Lily dressed up. She throws her coat on Lily, who then throws it on the floor, and I don't blame her. It's like, you know what, Donald, you might have me by my family being hung over my head, but I'm not going to make this easy for you. It's like, you know what, you might make sure I stay on the ride without jumping off, but I'm going to be kicking and screaming the whole way. So basically, it's a short visit to talk. She basically gives Donald, her phone with some video footage on it and sends Donald and Kyle off somewhere while she talks with Lily. And Lily, mentions like, she's not feeling well. Oh, girl, you should have said you had some. I would have worn my mask. I get it. It's a, little mask thing because in real life, mask, all that stuff. But in any case, she can't stand up because she doesn't feel well. And then she mentions that she got shot. And I'm actually surprised Lily just said that. I mean, that's how she got in this mess in the first place, running her mouth. I mean, when, when she came in Donald's office and was about to leave, and it's like, who did the president kill? And it's like, oh, you shouldn't have said that. And basically that was the line of dialogue that got her into this mess to begin with. Sure, having airport sex with Bobby was one thing, but mentioning that she overheard the president killing someone was the thing that really set it off. So, yikes. But in any case, Victoria's impressed that Donald would do that. And she wants a drink, and she just claps her hands and snaps her fingers, assuming that they have staff. And when Lily says we don't have staff at this hour, Lily laughs like, oh, you don't think that I'm going to pour you a drink. So Lily laughs, and she does manage to get up and go out for some air. Kyle comes back in and pours a drink. Donald comes in and says, wait, you really pulled it off. So Donald's just impressed that he doubted Victoria, and she basically, snubbed out any doubts in her abilities to get people in line. So basically, Bobby's still going to be on the VP's detail. So just the same with Kyle, you got to play nice with Max and Bobby. And everybody's going to go back to their lives. And all this will just die with, my son, Jason. And Donald's like, wow. So they toast to the success. And again, just a congratulations to her utter wickedness. So Kyle goes out to the garage because, Kyle is sent home and, look, just take any of the cars you want. So he ends up taking a set of keys, which belong to Lily's. That's Lily's car, but Lily's in the garage smoking a cigarette. She just doesn't give a crap at this point. Kyle is shocked to see her because, remember, Kyle doesn't, believe that Lily's fallen back in line. But remember, she has no choice. And she even tells Kyle, you think I'm here by choice? He has leverage over me. I can't leave. So Lily just doesn't give two shits at this point. She's basically, just like Catherine Cryer in the Haves and the Have-Nots. When she got out of jail, she just starts drinking and having threesomes. That's Lily. She just doesn't care at this point because her life is being fully controlled in order to spare the life of her entire family. So I don't know how the heck she's going to get out of this mess. But she basically, does make a good joke because Kyle's like, what are you doing here? I don't know, strolling around, wearing nightgowns from time to time, which I think is really funny, fourth wall breaking, because I remember at one point during season 1, somebody I know was like, when is Lily going to put on some clothes? She's been wearing that same nightgown for like 10 episodes now. I mean, that's literally all Lily's character does when she's at the house. She walks around wearing a nightgown. That's pretty much it. So I thought that was pretty meta. But aside from that, he takes a cigarette too, taunts her about being there, and it's like, oh yeah, if you ever get thirsty again, let me know. Oh yeah, if you ever want the cock of a gun, down your throat, let me know. Oh, I like that. Oh, I bet you would. So then Kyle leaves. So pretty much the episode ends at the tent. Alan and Dale, again, repetitive dialogue. Alan's he's basically Kareem. That's literally it. And he's always complaining. Then he apologizes. Dale doesn't give a crap, and they hear something. So then Alan jumps in the tent, and then Kyle pops up. Hi, Kyle. And then that's the end of the episode. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. It had some good moments in it. But yeah, things like Priscilla, didn't really care for it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I think The Oval Season 4, very, very good. Seriously, I think it's really, really good. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media. I'll catch you in the next one.